All right, guys, we're back. Welcome back to my apartment. You're here with Collin Nicholas. Ugh, me. Okay, guys, we're back. We made it back. You're back with me. We're making uncommon cocktails together with common found household pantry ingredients. We're working with pineapples today. We got all over the walls. I got this fantastic shirt on from my friends at Party Shirt International. We're really ready to embrace this wonderful tiki-inspired, escapism-driven experience here. We are sharing a recipe that's very near and dear to my heart. It's a recipe that has followed me throughout my career over the last decade. First and foremost, we're gonna jump off here. We're gonna get right into our pineapples. We're gonna break this puppy down. And what we wanna do first, we don't want this thing getting all topsy-turvy on us. Get a nice sharp knife. You wanna work on a steady, soft. We wanna work on a steady, solid surface. Just quite simply break off the bottom of the pineapple here. Take our top off. This thing isn't rolling around, it's super stable on the table. You wanna make sure no kids are running around here, your puppy's off in a safe spot. You don't wanna go too crazy with this, don't wanna go too fast. And we're just gonna rough chop this up. More than happy to leave a little bit of that husk on there. And we're gonna put it right into our vessel here. This, the core is relatively unusable, but there are still residual juices in here. These really wonderful sugars that we can still use. We're just gonna save everything we possibly can, limit the amount of waste, and really enhance the amount of flavor in our cocktail. I wanna talk about one other pineapple element to this recipe that is the hidden trade secret to my recipe, canned pineapples. Now, come on, Collin, right? Like, we got these fresh ingredients here. This is like the fresh ingredient focused guy. I know that some of you have them in your pantry. I know I have these in my pantry, and they're an incredibly useful tool. The best part about these pineapples is they do use certain preservatives in these products. These are gonna help elongate the shelf life of our syrup. Let's open this bad boy up. We're gonna get that air out of there. We are gonna go ahead and weigh out our spice qualities here. So we've picked 3 spices. We have whole cloves, star anise, a whole star anise, and we have whole allspice berry. Easily found at any grocery store, right? Or even perhaps in your kitchen already. But these are gonna allow you to get all of that wonderful flavor, get that nice, deep, rich, spice-driven expression into the syrup, but it's also gonna allow us to strain these off really easily. We're gonna take about 15 grams of allspice berries. Again, we're using the whole berries. And about 15 grams will equal 2 tablespoons or so. We have 15 grams of our allspice berry. I just threw 3 pieces of star anise. We're gonna use 1 pineapple. So for 1 pineapple, no more than 3 pieces of star anise. It's an incredibly overpowering, almost polarizing flavor. It's something that I really enjoy. And we're gonna go for, let's go like 5 to 7 grams of clove. You know, not everyone's a huge Not everyone's a huge fan of clove. Clove also can lend a really tannic quality to a syrup if it's overworked. So we're gonna kick it on a really low number, a really low heat on our reduction here. If you're using a gas stove or an electric stove, go on the lowest heat setting possible, because once you've gone up from there, there's really no coming back. And we're just gonna go ahead and kick in half of the juice from our can of canned pineapples. They are just like little pillows of fresh, poppy, vibrant pineapple. Without the spices, no water. We wanna just take this raw off of the core, and you don't need to go crazy with this, right? Let's not like throw our neck out, let's not throw our back out. We just want to break some of those more dense, fibrous? You'll see the juices going here. We're getting some liquid, and as we're finishing toasting our spices here, we wanna make sure we're giving these a little bit of attention, right? We don't want these to just sit on their own. These are little babies. Want to get the aromas going. You know, you gotta waft it. You gotta want to waft it up to yourself. So let's hit this in here. Make sure we're not splashing anyone. And we're actually just gonna toss these together. And at this point, we're gonna go full heat. We want to bring this thing up to a boil. We want to cook it. And as I mentioned before, we did save our core. We're gonna actually kick it right into our pot. We're gonna add 2 quarts of water. Kick it in there. I don't know, nibble on it. Get it in your mouth. As we're boiling this water, again, it's super important that we're agitating this mixture. This should be a spiritual journey for you of sorts. Little movie magic here. We'll be back with you in 5 minutes here, and sorry, that was a little... Let this thing cook up. We got some steam coming off the top of it here. Before we go ahead and dissolve our sugar, we're gonna pop our core out. 2 cups of sugar. We have our white granulated sugar here. Some of those darker, more organic sugars have a tendency to kind of cover up some of that bright freshness of fruit and fresh driven ingredients. But we're just slowly dissolving this 2 cups of sugar into the mix. We brought in the big dog today. We have a Chinois This is absurd, right? This thing is crazy. You have a larger mesh strainer that works totally fine. And we're gonna we gotta be super careful with this part of the process here. We got boiling water, we got sugars. This is no joke, guys. So we're gonna strain really slowly. Again, we popped the core out. We made it to this point here, guys. We got to look at this color on this syrup here. It's unbelievable. We have our sugars. We've incorporated our toasted baking spices. We have our canned pineapple. We have our fresh pineapple, which at this point is ready for bottling. And we're gonna really carefully just pour this into our bottle. Again, we're seeing all that steam come off the top. We have our syrup strained into our bottle. Let's make sure we get a nice tag, name, date on this thing. It's our spiced pineapple syrup. Catch me next week. We're gonna incorporate this syrup into my Betty cocktail. We're gonna show you a few applications. In the meantime, have fun with this, get a little creative, and enjoy your drinks.